Our next guest is considered by many to be the second best offensive tackle to ever come out of USC, and that's not a bad thing. The first draft pick ever by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He helped them reach the FC title game, has seen several Super Bowls on TV. He's considered one of the best offensive tackles to ever play in the NFL. Uh-oh. Just not by the Hall of Fame, at least not yet. Hopefully that will be corrected this weekend by the selection committee. Please welcome Tony Boselli. Oh, boy. And that's a slim down Tony Boselli.
You had to bring up the Super Bowl.
See you, bud. Have a seat.
You know, very few people understand that being the second best offensive lineman at USC is actual compliment.
Oh, yeah, because
they were making fun of me over there. I'm like, don't laugh. That's a good one.
I said that's a good thing. Anthony Munoz.
That's right.
Yeah, is now you do you consider him the best offensive?
I think he's the best offensive lineman ever.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, ever played the game. So I'm happy to be second fiddle to him.
But he was athletic. You know, usually when you see a big tackle, he just is a big guy. And Anthony Munoz played on the baseball team at USC and just was more of an athletic tackle than I think we were used to in the NFL.
Yeah, I played baseball in junior high.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay. All right. Well, you're a great athlete, too.
Yeah, outstanding.
Great.
We have that in common, me and Anthony. Yeah. No, he's a great – I think well, your point is he was one of the first guys who was big, athletic, could move around, multi-sport guys. So, yeah, but there's a lot of guys since then that have kind of been that mold.
Do you have to be big now to be a good offensive lineman?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's very many small guys.
But I'm talking about.
Are you talking fat?
Yeah, no, like speed. Like how much? What's more important? Like great footwork, quickness. I know you have to have strength, but
I think I still think feet are the most important thing. I mean, athletic ability. If you can move and stay in between you and the quarterback, I mean, you have a chance. I mean, I think the day of the big, heavy, fat, lumbering. Especially at the offensive tackle position. I don't think you can do that. I mean, you got Von Miller and guys like that coming off the edge. I mean, it's hard enough if you're a really good athlete to block those guys. If you're big and lumbering, I don't think you have a chance.
But did you ever have a moment where you got beat, and can you yell out to Mark Brunell like, "Look out," or do you say sorry?
There was there was very few moments where I got beat that quick. But there was a couple that come to mind. I remember we were playing Tennessee. Javon Curse beat me pretty quick. And I was literally watching the whole thing in slow motion. And I'm thinking, this is not going to end well for Mark. I mean, it's over for me already. It already looks bad for me. So at this point, it doesn't matter. But you can't yell. You can't do anything. You want to. I tried to tackle and missed that. And it did not end well.
Are you taught to hold like each play?
No, I mean, you're going to grab. I mean, but you have to.
But what's the difference
it's
between
the art of holding? I mean, if you're holding within. See, my thing is, if you hold within the framework of the body and you move your feet, you're never going to get called for it.
Okay, Paulie, jump up and let Tony show you the difference between holding and grabbing. All right, so
well, I mean, just stand up. You don't have to get down low. I mean, we can get down here and go full speed.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Okay, you're going to come off. Come this way. Like that right there. That's a good. And if he comes in, come here, don't move. Okay. Like right here, I can grab right here. Yeah, like this.
So that's not holding.
No, like if I'm in the framework of the body and see I'm moving here. Well, you really want to do this? I mean, we can do this.
Paulie, I got to have you the whole week here.
I got Friday warning.
No, but if I'm out here. And he goes this way.
Yeah.
Now that's
holding.
That's a holding.
But
if I move my feet and get in front of him, it's fine.
Okay.
You're all excited.
Tony, stand over there and let Paulie try to get around you.
Like
legitimately, this is to get into the Hall of Fame.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Call it out there.
All right. Ready? Set. Hit.
Oh crap.
Okay. So, well done.
Holy cow.
He wanted to do that today.
I don't know why. I felt bad for a second until he was really trying.
No. He wants to do that. We've got a long list of mistakes at the Super Bowl by Paulie. he said to Clay Matthews, "I'm going to block you." And Clay Matthews hit him in the chest. It gave him that stab.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to tackle Adrian Peterson and Matt Forte. They smacked him in the head.
I love it. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You're not very smart.
No,
I'm
C's get degrees.
really impressed, though. This is when I know I'm out of shape, though. I'm actually breathing.
Yeah, you are.
It's not good.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You get to the gym.
All right, so final 15 for the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Now, I do want to point this out, only because people think that we've known each other forever. I don't think I ever met you before until recently.
Yeah.
And I just said, look, I know what I saw when I saw you play. And I thought there was something different. There was athleticism. You were a great player. Now, the window that you played is probably what, if it does keep you out of the Hall of Fame, would be the amount of time you played. Right. But when you played it at a high level and you were healthy, there was no other tackle that I saw that was better than you. And I'm talking about Anthony Munoz. I'm talking about the greats of the game. So I don't know you, but I know when I see a Hall of Famer. And I look at you the way I do Terrell Davis. Now, he won Super Bowls and won an MVP, rushed for 2,000 yards. But, there's no real number I can attach to a tackle to say, well, but he did this. And I hope you get into the Hall of Fame. I hope you get the call and they tell you on Saturday that you're in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, it's one of those things, you're not playing anymore. There's nothing I can do about it, but it's the ultimate individual honor. And my career is what it was. I got hurt, much like Terrell Davis did. I think when he got in, that meant a lot.
Yeah. How long before you mention me in your Hall of Fame speech? Like how? Because I usually show up a little later.
Probably. And I think, how long do I have? I mean, they say I think
too long.
Yeah. I'm not going to be like the 45-minute where you go on and on, tell your whole life story. So let's say I go 15 minutes.
When do I get mentioned?
11 and a half to 12.
I like it at the very end, where it's emotional.
Emotional, tears.
Yeah. Now, do you cry mentioning me or your family?
Well, I think it's a carryover from my mom and dad to wife and kids. Then the tears are continuing the entire time.
And if you just say, Dan, we did it, then I'm fine with that too. Like, it doesn't have to be a big, hey, Dan Patrick. It's
how about something like, Dan, without you, I'm not sure this day is a reality.
Okay, that's
something
fine.
like that. Yeah. I'll work on that.
No, I'm not joking here. I'd expect a damn good shout out.
Well, the good news is there's a local guy named Dan as well who asked me the same thing. So I think I can kill two birds with one stone. Just say Dan, and both of you will think that it's part of the deal.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, good.
Tony is the lead analyst for Thursday Night Football in Westwood One, and you're going to be on the sidelines for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Are you nervous?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm nervous for Saturday. That's the only thing I'm nervous for this week.
And explain this to the audience.
Yeah, this is nerve-wracking.
I think it's unfair to you. I really do. I do, for the 15 finalists.
Yeah.
Because you're all in a room?
No, so actually we're all at a hotel. They fly everybody in. I'm here all week because of the radio with Westwood One, but everyone else is here Thursday. You do an event Thursday night. There's a luncheon Friday. And then Saturday you're told just to sit around all day. And all 48 voters go into a room. And they tell you, be in your hotel room about 3:30, because from 3:30 to 5, you either will get a knock on the door, meaning you're in the Hall of Fame, or a phone call, meaning you're not. In the last 2 years, I've gotten a phone call. The first year was the worst because I was sitting there. In the first year, I actually didn't think I was going to make it. It was a long shot. And I'm sitting there, and my wife's there, and I hear a knock on the door. And it was housekeeping. Housekeeping. And I opened the door, and and as nice as I possibly could, and I said, will you please get away from me? Leave. And then about 30 seconds later, the phone rang, and they let me know, you are not good enough to be in this group. Please go home now and collect your belongings. They didn't say that, but that's what it felt like.
Okay, put a do not disturb sign.
Yes.
Okay.
So you get the phone call, and it's over. And the hard part about the phone call is now they tell you you literally have 5 minutes to get downstairs and go to the honors, because they want all 15 guys at the honors. And so you put the suit and tie on and go to the honors and sit there. And the best way I can explain it is you're sitting there, and we're all type A, competitive guys. You've always kind of risen to the top, been one of the best at what you do. And it feels like, and the Hall of Fame's great about it. Dave Baker does an amazing job, but you feel like they're basically saying, you are not good enough, you've been cut. I mean, that's the feeling you have, because there's 15 guys, only 5 make it.
Well, it feels like there's a log jam with linemen this year. So I do think a couple of linemen are getting in. I don't know it.
Yeah.
Steve Hutchinson, Kevin Mawai,
Alan Faneca.
you, Alan Faneca.
Yep. So
Feels, and you said you're better than all of those guys, and I.
Well, I'm the best tackle of the group. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And I think after what I did to Paulie here, it's clear.
Yeah. It feels like the log jam is gonna bring in a couple of linemen.
I hope so. I mean, I think there's two for sure, guys. I mean, Ed Reed and Tony Gonzalez. I mean, is there any doubt they're getting in?
Yeah.
And then my guess is if you're handicapping, it'd probably Champ Bailey be next.
I would agree with that too.
And then there's 2 open spots, maybe 3, depending on what they do with Champ. And I think they should put 2 offensive linemen in. Your last year was 5 offensive linemen in the top 15. Joe Jacoby aged out. He can't be in there any longer. Now there's 4 of us, so we'll see what happens. All great players. I mean, that's the other thing. You kind of look at it, and if you don't get – the last years haven't gotten in, and you want to be mad at somebody, but then you look at the guys who get in. What are you going to say? Like, oh, Ray Lewis, get him out. I mean, he doesn't belong at all. How does he get in there?
Urlacher, he should be in there.
He's terrible. He was awful with the Bears. And so you just kind of go about your business.
Who's the best player you ever saw? Offensively, defensively?
The best player.
Like where you just went, wow.
You know, there's a couple. And I'll say from being young, because watching these guys growing up, I mean, John Elway was my favorite player of all time, growing up in Colorado. And so watching him and playing against him, I was like, my goodness.
And then you beat him
we beat him
Denver.
in the Denver, which was the greatest thing ever. Watching Barry Sanders, we played them in 95. Seeing him live and what he was able to do was remarkable. And being on the same field with Reggie White. Just the amount of power and strength and what he was able to do was unbelievable. So, I mean, but you can go down the list of the great players that played, but those guys really stand out as something special.
Could you beat up all 4 of my guys at the same time?
Yeah, there's not a doubt. If we said you could not leave this carpeted area, I am confident. Because a couple I'd take out immediately. Just one punch, they're done. And the other ones I'd have to fight a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not sure
so
who the
Paulie,
weakest link is there. But
the weakest link. Fritzy's probably the weakest link here. Even though he's got big arms. His arms are as big
Was that the one I heard talking about, like, urological issues? Yeah, he'd definitely be out quickly.
Yeah, he's got issues. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, he has, like, something going on.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot going on. Yes, Paul.
I think I may have bowel issues if I faced him, if you know what I mean. I would.
And McLovin, I don't know if
I did remember the bench press, Dan.
Oh yeah, he did bench press 200 pounds.
200 pounds.
Yeah.
No, I've gotten up to 215 in my time, max.
Yeah, what's your max?
I don't know. Well, there's a lot more than that, though. My shoulders don't even work anymore, and it'd still be more than that.
They screwed up your shoulder, didn't they?
Yeah, I'd rather
your
not talk
surgery.
about. Yeah, that was. There was some mishaps, I think.
That's unfortunate, man.
We'll leave it at that, though. There's no reason to dig up.
How's your shoulder now?
Oh, it's complete crap. I mean, so the good news is, so this is, I saw a doctor probably 4 or 5 years ago about it. And I'm hoping to get it cleaned out, or something. That's what athletes do. Let's clean it out like you're going to oil, get your oil change. Just clean it out, we'll move on. And he said, there's nothing I can do. And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I can give you a new one. I'm like, we're not doing that. And so until I can't play golf anymore,
okay,
I won't play. But that's about all the external, that's about as far as it goes. But
I had the knee replaced.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
No. Yeah, I got my knees. I had a hip.
Oh, okay. Well, they mastered the hip.
Yeah, I was like, no problem.
The hip's good.
I played golf like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, the knee takes a little.
Yeah,
little
my
time.
dad had a knee. It didn't go as well.
How does Sunday play out?
I just have a hard time seeing the Patriots losing. I don't know why.
Do you hate the Patriots?
No, I don't. I have a lot of friends that, they call me going to the games and, doing all the games. They said, gosh, we hope the Patriots lose. We're so tired of the Patriots. And I think it's easy to take that point of view. To me, it's just the opposite. I mean, how often – it's the greatest sports dynasty, in my opinion, in my lifetime. If you look at the NFL set up for parity, set up for the bad teams to be decent, from draft order, from salary cap, everything is going against the dynasty. And that's why I think it's greater than anything that the 49ers did, the Cowboys in the day, or the Steelers. What Belichick and Brady have done in this era is the most remarkable thing I've ever seen. I mean, they've been together now, I think, 17 years of where Brady's been healthy. 9 Super Bowls. There's guys on that. Think about this. There's guys on the roster who've been playing in the NFL for 8 years, and they've been to the AFC Championship every year. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, you talk about I got it twice. I mean, guys never get there.
Yeah.
Then in the Super Bowl 3 straight years, Joe Tooney's never not played a season of football, the starting left guard without playing in the Super Bowl. So I think it's a very close game, but I think the Patriots just edge out the Rams.
Final question.
Yep.
You can have Julian Edelman's career or Calvin Johnson's.
I'm going Edelman.
Okay. I thought about it in the beginning, and then I thought, well, Calvin Johnson. And then I realized Edelman is probably not going to the Hall of Fame.
No.
But you can't tell the story of the NFL without Julian Edelman.
You cannot.
And he had two of the most iconic plays in Super Bowl history, and he's not done yet. So I said Edelman, even though my bank account's not going to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only thing is I start looking at my, my financial advisor and the CPA. I'm like, Calvin Johnson would be pretty nice. But what he's done on Edelman on the field, and to play with Brady, I think that'd be awesome.
I hope you get the call or the knock on Saturday.
Well, it will be a big portion of it because of you.
Of course.
I'll make sure I thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
He's Tony Boselli, Westwood One lead Thursday night analyst, and he will be on the sidelines for the call on Westwood One on Super Bowl Sunday.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.